And I'm Ohana. We are sixth graders at Sports and Medical Science Academy.
Today we're speaking with Captain Jose Rivera and Firefighter Jose Alicea from the Hartford Fire Department.
How are you guys today?
Good, yes, sir.
It's nice to meet you.
Likewise.
How did you become a firefighter and what educations or experience are required?
So I previously worked at the Department of Children and Family. I was a social worker there and had a few friends that were in the fire department, and they absolutely loved their job. So I kept asking them questions in regards to why did they love the job so much. I started getting interested. So they opened up enrollment. I went ahead and applied. And once I started getting through the process, there was a written exam, the physical tests, the oral interviews. I started getting a little more excited about the job. And once I got in, I had no regrets. So in regards to what was needed educational wise, we just need a high school diploma or a GED, and that's your minimal qualifications for the job.
What was the hardest part of all of that? Like any parts, like harder parts than usual?
So when I went through the process, over 1,000 people applied, and they're only taking 30 people. So when I showed up to the testing facility, I thought if they're hiring 30 people, I should be able to get in. But when I got to the place and I saw that long line, I was like, wow, that's a lot of people interested in that. That number 30 seemed very, very small. But it was a written exam, and out of the 1,000 people, over 1,000 people that applied, only 25% of the people passed. So it was a pretty difficult exam. Once we passed that portion, we did the physical portion of it, and that was very competitive. And that 250 that passed trimmed down even more because not everyone passed the physical portion, because firefighting is a very physically demanding job. So that trimmed the list down a little bit more. Then it was the oral interview, which is another daunting task, to be interviewed, ask questions, and be able to have the right answers and give them exactly what they're looking for in order to get higher points. So that more or less is the process that I had to go through.
Mr. Alicea, what core subject from high school do you use the most on the job?
English and Spanish. Because we talk to people we communicate often with community, and I learned both Spanish and English, so that's what I use the most.
That's nice.
Everything else is kind of using basic math and stuff like that. So
When you were in high school, did you know you wanted to be a firefighter? What inspired you to choose this career?
So I actually knew I wanted to be a firefighter. Before that, my grandfather and uncle in Puerto Rico were firefighters.
Oh.
So I was around that my whole life. So I
Oh.
knew from even before then.
Mr. Rivera, what's an average day on the job look like?
So an average day, you show up in the morning, typically between 7 and 8. I would get there nice and early at 7 o'clock. And the person that's waiting for you, because you have to have a minimal of 4 people on the engine or a truck. So they're waiting for you to get there. So the minute you get there, you're relieving the other person, let them know that you're there, because once you're there, they're able to go home. And once you get there, you start going over and testing all your tools to make sure that you're prepared, because the minute you take over, that means you're ready to go at any point, because you could get a call and you may be fighting the fire. So you go over all your tools, make sure all your tools are there, make sure all your equipment's tested. We go through that piece. One of the things that I did was I used to always go upstairs and set up my bed. Very important, because I want to make sure my bed is ready to go, because at 9 o'clock I'm ready to hit the bed after a long day. So that was one of the things that we had to do. Shortly after that, we would do what they call roll call at 8 o'clock, and that's when the officer makes sure that his whole crew or her crew is there, and make sure that everyone's in their proper uniform, everyone's cleanly shaven, and they're ready to be able to perform all the tasks that are required for the job. Shortly after that, we will do a house chores, because it's we consider that our house. So we clean the toilets, clean the bathrooms, sweep, mop, throw out the trash, and every single day has a different task that we have to complete, whether it be shining brass, doing windows, cutting the grass. When it snows, we have to shovel the snow.
Do you guys each have a certain task to do?
We do. Each person has, each position has their own task. So, I was at a house where we had certain responsibilities one side of the house, the other person had it on the other side of the house, and at the end of the day, everything needed to be done. And then after that, we do a drill every single time, just to make sure that we're sharp and ready to go for anything that comes our way. And then it's just be ready for any of the calls that may come in, whether it be a medical call, motor vehicle accident, or a fire. We just always have to be ready.
That's good.
And we have breakfast.
Oh, we definitely eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, you know. And if it's your turn to cook, you would have to cook the meal, you know. So we all take turns to make sure that we're cooking. So that's one thing.
Who's the best cook?
Who's the best cook? It wasn't me, you know. I cooked the simplest things, the stuff that you cannot mess up. My main thing was spaghetti meatballs and chicken parmesan because everything was already pre-flavored. Other people, they would do their own sauces and everything from scratch. Not this guy. Easy peasy.
Then if you were lucky, you had somebody on your ship or your crew that has some experience, either a chef or a caterer or somebody that was into cooking. You get lucky if you have a coworker like that. Most of the time they like to cook too. You'll be good.
What is the most difficult part of your job?
The most difficult would be sometimes it gets physically hard depending on the call, and also weather dependent, and the conditions inside of where we at. And I would say that, and dealing with children who got hurt. That's the other part.
What are the differences between what you thought the job was like and what the job is actually like?
I didn't think it was. I knew it was gonna be to be social with people, and I thought it was gonna be more physical work. But being social with people and communicating with people is a big part of what we do. We do a lot of medical calls as well, and it's all kind of medical calls. So you have to be good at communicating, being a people person, and customer service skills.
Do you ever get scared sometimes during the job?
Yeah, I feel that you need to be scared because if you're not scared and you go gung ho places, you kind of might miss a step that could get you hurt or cost you your life or somebody else's life. So
You have to pay attention.
you have to have some level of fear in you.
What's your favorite part of being a firefighter?
Dealing with people. Dealing with people, helping people out, and seeing them that I was able to maybe help a bit, and when they are at their worst times.
That's good.
So that and driving around in a cool fire truck too.
I wish I could drive in one.
Maybe one day you can visit.
One day.
We both thank you for your time today, and we appreciate learning about your career.
Anytime. Thank you
Thanks
guys.
for having us.